3:05. Let's see. It looks like a broadcast was deleted on Facebook. Try creating a new broadcast or just re-edit. I don't know why Facebook does weird things like that, but okay. But it's doing it, so edit. Oh, wow. Why am I getting feedback? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Shh, I'm talking to myself. Okay. Facebook for this? Oh, for gosh sake. And just Facebook's been funny, but that's all right. Okay. Save changes. Edit. Remove. We're live. We're actually live. I'm sitting here talking and we're live. And that's why I'm hearing the replay. It's not the replay. It's the feedback because I've got my YouTube channel open. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I apologize for that. Oh, my goodness. I thought I was just fixing everything behind the scenes, but you're all here with me. So I want to welcome everyone to Conversations with C, where we connect with spiritual thought leaders from around our world and beyond. My amazing guest today, she's very special. I'm so excited to present her to you, is Reverend Judi Weaver. Judi is an international spiritual trance medium, a master metaphysician, medium, healer, and shamanic practitioner. With over 30 years of experience, Reverend Judi is the founder of Heart for Souls Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to spiritual development and healing modalities. Judi is also the published author of Guided by Your Light and Truth Beyond. So will you all please join me? Guided by Your Light and Truth Beyond. Yeah. Will you all please join me in welcoming Reverend Judi Weaver?
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I'm super excited to be here. And not just me, because I come with a whole entourage, and every single person who is watching right now is coming with their whole entourage, along with you, myself. I mean, you've got such fabulous energy and all kinds of different beings around you. And it doesn't matter if you're watching right now or if you're watching later on. Your guides have got you to be here at this time and space. So I'm super excited. But I would like to start with a prayer. If you're good with that, I would love to start with an opening prayer. I want to invite in everybody. It automatically changes the energy. So,
thank you.
Heavenly Father, Great Spirit, we come before you upon this day, lifting this entire broadcast into your loving arms. We call upon the archangels. We call upon universal light beings of the highest and purest. We welcome the masters and the guides, the teachers and the ancient ones. Open our hearts and open our minds, open our souls to clarity and to your healing grace. We ask this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Now they're all here. And I can't help but giggle because it's like so tickly all the way through.
Oh, I love that. I'm just sharing it out to a few more places because we're on it doesn't even matter. Anyway, so I'm going to share. But while I'm sharing, I just want to share. Well, first I want to say to everybody that I met Reverend Judi in person. I came to a circle at the local Unity Church, who I now do amazing graphics for, actually. And Judi was the guest, and she had this amazing. She channeled like all these amazing beings. I believe you channeled Jesus, and you channeled Archangel Metatron and other archangels, and you did readings for all of us in the circle. It was just an amazing experience, and I loved it. And I was just so excited to reach out to you and invite you to be on my show today. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes.
If you would like to share with, about yourself or anything you want to share
where
about
I come from and all that world, the little backdrops.
Perfect. And I'll be sharing this out.
And you can poke on and do your little thing. Okay. All right. So anyway, so I'm probably like most of you, had no idea that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. I don't think any of us could possibly ever imagine what Spirit has planned for us, or God has planned for us, or angels, or our team members, our guides and everybody else. So the way my spiritual awakening really got my full attention was it was back in the early 90s. And my father had been diagnosed with cancer. He had a very large tumor that had burst through his intestines, and he'd been given 3 months to live. And now I'd come from background where I'd spent many years actually in Florida. So Southern Baptist was my primary religion. And I certainly, I'd moved up to Connecticut at this point in time. And, but I still had that real strong Southern Baptist, foundation that was within me. Well, I went to bed on a regular night and then sat straight up in bed and very clearly heard, you've got to go to Florida and do a healing on your father. And I looked around the room and I said, who said that? And I'm like, but God, Dad's an atheist. So again, I'd always been a real strong person of faith, but this was my faith. This was not my family's faith, certainly not my father's faith. And my father was adamant. He was an atheist. There was nothing else that's beyond. And so, I prayed really hard. I'm like, I'll do what you want me to do. Because again, I've always been that person of faith, but I needed to know exactly what to do. And so I prayed and prayed, and I got lists, and I'm like, okay, so I'll do this and I'll do this and do this. And so then it came closer time, and I called my family, and everybody was willing to meet me. And we were all going to Florida. It was right around Thanksgiving time. And so, but I knew I needed anointing oil. And so I went to my pastor church Sunday morning, and I said, well, hello, pastor. I said, do you have any anointing oil? He says, what for? And I said, well, I got to go to Florida and do a healing on my father. Now this pastor had known me for like 10 years. He's like, you got a what? He says, when are you going? I said, tomorrow morning. And he says, in my office. So it's Sunday morning. He marches me down into the office, and sits me down. He's like, Judi, what are you doing? He's, I've been in his choir for years. He's never seen this side of me. Never knew that this side even existed for either one of us. So anyway, he's telling me, well, you can do this and you can say this and you can, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I've got that. I've got that. And after the third time, he looked at me and he said, who told you? I said, God did. He said, it's a good thing that we're working for the same guy. And he gave me some anointing oil from Jerusalem to take with me. We did this whole ceremony around my father. I'm not saying he didn't continue with medical science, because he did. However, that ceremony changed our family. He became a man of faith and lived another 9 years. So it's never about knowing the destination. It's about being willing to take the steps that are being asked of you without that. Because God and Great Spirit, I don't care what you want to call it, the love divinity of all, they have so much more confidence in us than we ever could have in ourselves. And they know what we can do and who we truly are. And so it's so important for each of us to step out of our own way. And for me, I had to really step out of my faith because, Southern Baptist people didn't be doing that. I can assure you, you'd be going to hell and hell and hell. So it was, and the way it's really come to me at later points, it's not that it's a right or wrong in any religion. It's more than what you knew. It's just the next level of your development. It's another understanding of looking at all kinds of different religions and peoples and the way that they're working within their ancestry. And another thing that was a big deal for me was when the trees really started talking to me and the animals did.
You're speaking my language. Tell us more. Oh my God.
Well, I didn't even realize I had Native American heritage. I had always felt, very comfortable outside in nature. But when I think back now, like I can remember being like 4 years old, laying in the grass, listening to the trees that were singing. And I was always petrified because I had a bedroom that had the knotty pine, paneling. And I was always petrified because all the eyes were watching me. Well, they really were. But I didn't realize that all those eyes were really, really, oh, hello, Miss Barbara.
Hey, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara, for introducing me to Judi, actually, and all of us now. Barbara's the one that brought you to Unity, am I right?
Yes,
And
yes,
hosted that
yes.
beautiful event. Yeah.
Yeah. Barbara, she is a very, very special woman, and she just wears her heart for the world to see, and she sings it as well.
Oh, yeah.
And
Beautiful.
she is an incredible singer, but she just allows her love to carry her forward. And so she is a blessing in my life for sure.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So, well, I was going to say, I was going to keep going if you want me to just keep going for a few more minutes.
Keep going. Everything you're saying is so interesting. I definitely also want to talk about Machu Picchu as well today, because you just came back from Peru recently, didn't you?
I just came back a week ago from spending 2.5 weeks there, and I stayed in San Salvador area. And so that was beyond magical, just beyond amazing. The energies, obviously around the world, wherever they call you to, it's because they're going to do work with you. And it's so important for you to make sure that you pay attention to that, because when you're feeling called to go somewhere, you've got to show up. You really do. You've got to make the effort. It's not that you can't spiritually travel, because you absolutely can, and you will receive some benefit from that spiritual travel. But when you physically go to those places, it's a different level of a connection and of commitment by each of you. You showed up, I give you. And so that's where things really started changing in my life. When I was called to places, then things were happening to me. 2012, I really felt called to go to Brazil. And then after I went, I received such spiritual energy. I felt crystals be inserted into the palms of my hand and tubing go through my head, and very clearly heard I've had to change your hardware so that your physical body could handle the level of healing energy that's going to come through. And that was at Easter time. And then it was by Christmas, that's when I started to trance channel. Again, not something I ever would have anticipated, but we have very limited thoughts about what we can and where we are and what's happening. So when I went to Peru, oh my gosh, I mean, the mountains just talk to you. The animals talk to you. I'm up on top of the, Machu Picchu, and the rain is coming. It is so black. It is just pouring literally right over there. Well, one of my guests had fallen and actually had a walking stick with them that day. So it would have been slippery, to be using that. So I'm like, no, y'all got to stay back. It never rained a drop on us, and I'm calling in the birds, and it's working with nature. It's allowing yourself to work with and to know that you have a partnership with all the different elementals, listening to the rocks that call you, that say, hey, come here, come pick me up, take me home. I have an extra boost for you.
So fabulous. Oh my God. So this started with when your father was ill, or you were already doing, because I'm just trying to get caught up here.
Well, it's kind of funny, because it's like when I really go back and I look, I can identify it all the way through without understanding what it was. When it became really clear was with my father, but then it was like, after that, it was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Do I do this, or do they tell me what to do? What's mine? What's yours? What's ours? And then it was like, where do you find the training at, and really listening? And so it was a developmental process, but the biggest development was me allowing myself to be open to it, to listen to it, to recognize it, and to accept it for what it is in its own independence as a beautiful, unique gift to me. And every single person has their own beautiful, unique gift, but nobody can tell you really what that is. all these different psychics and mediums and everybody, I can show you what I get. I can tell you, I can help you to feel that, but you're the only person who's going to be able to really exercise that muscle to be able to implement it for yourself.
I hear you. Well said.
She says, I hear you. I hear you.
I do. And Rachel Warren says, yes, so true.
Yeah, because the thing is, everybody thinks it's the other guys to do. And you give your power away all the time, thinking that they know more. They're stronger, they're more professional, they're whatever. But the thing is, you have your own antenna of information that is supposed to come into you, that has to be integrated for your highest and best for whatever the plan is that you're going to implement as well. So, it was so funny. Spirit was really funny about it when they were chittering with me. They're like, okay, well, think about it this way. You go to, because as soon as you're going through the awakening process, which, oh my gosh, everybody is like going through this major awakening from 2020, it's like all the young ones and the other ones that were just kind of pretending that it really wasn't. There's no more pretending anymore. That's like front and center. Here we are. So, they're all going through this process of, well, what is that? And what does that mean to me? And what am I supposed to do? And they're very hungry. They're thirsty. They're like, they have to be able to know. So they start going to all of these classes and researching online and trying to get as much information because they're trying to find something that fits exactly with them. And so, but what it really comes down to is that you will learn tips and tools and techniques from all of these different people that help to create the different letters in your own personal language that you will create. So it is so important to realize that you go to Reiki and you might learn something about symbology, that symbol is specific for you. And then you go over here and you're doing shamanic work. And that's really giving you that earthen grounding. And let me tell you, every time I do deep shamanic work and or Paco work is what they call it in the Andes, down there in Peru, I go that much higher. You have to go deep in order to go higher. You have to really ground yourself. You have to be able to, really get involved in all of those different energies. And so that's the point when you're going to all these different practices and, and maybe you're using different tarot cards or oracle cards, and the angels are really the ones that talk to you the most. And it's like, well, which angel is it? So go ahead and do some research about the different angels. Which one do you feel? And that's the key behind all of this, because when you are doing your real spiritual work on your path, how does it resonate? You are the best barometer that you will ever have for you. And if it is not attracting you, then it's not the correct vibration. It may be not correct right now. It might be changing in 6 months, or it just may not be the vibration that you're going to be working with at all. And so it's not about, yes, I will go ahead and I do medium work where I will, give messages from loved ones, but that's not where I focus my energies at. I can provide guidance, but what I really do, or what they want me to be doing, is to provide you with specific tools and insight and your own connection for you to go forward with in your life, not to continue going backwards, but to move yourself to that next space and place of self.
Oh, I love that. Everything you're saying so resonates with me. Just like the day that I met you in person, I'm like, oh my God, everything this amazing woman says totally resonates. Oh, I love that. I love that. Because we all have our own calling, and I get it. I don't even have to paraphrase. You just said it perfectly.
But there's a lot of spiritual teachers who try to keep you in a specific box. There's a lot of specific training that wants to keep you in a box. And if you really are following your path, it's not going to be that rigid, because I'm in the process, right, of doing my new website, right? Oh my God. And it's like, well, I do this and I do this and I do this. It's like, what do I advertise, right? You know, because I do past life regression, and I do the soul healing, and I do, you know, I do all this different stuff. And now I just recently had to get this gong. And while I was doing my gong work the other day, they were all talking about how I'm doing karmic closing. So it's like all these different things. And it's like, but again, it's just about having the great big tool basket. And so when a person comes and sits before me, and it's important to have all the tools in the basket so that I can choose which one is really in their best interest at this moment, and that's going to help them move forward. Because it's always about moving forward.
Absolutely. I love what you're saying. I want to read. Barbara says, I think our gifts have always been with us. Our awarenesses are the magic potions given us, our keys to the universe. Yes. And we are the key givers to our peeps.
Absolutely. And the keyhole is in the heart.
There it is. I love
it's
that.
always to the heart. Yeah, yeah.
And it's interesting because what you're saying resonates with me. My guides didn't guide me to a teacher for years. And I'm like, they just wanted to, I kept saying, because I kept thinking that I needed someone to show me the way. And they kept saying, nope. And I would, like the human mind wants something and then it doesn't happen. It just did not manifest. I have an amazing trance mentor now for the trance mediumship for the last 2 years. And I just started another class with one of my previous guests, Andrew, coddling on trance mediumship because I was drawn. And but now I feel like Spirit's saying you have a great foundation and I know what works for me and I know what I'm not drawn to and I'm not doing anybody else's dance. I'm doing my own dance and then I'm incorporating whatever resonates with me. And I love that. And I love that like most of my friends in this community, we all do some of the similar things and other things differently. But I love what you're saying about the tool basket. That's so important.
It is so important. And I still continue to go to school now. I mean, I have been going to school. Well, we're always in school. We're always a teacher and we're always a student. And it's not that there aren't a lot of different students who wouldn't be my clients, because absolutely they are. But that still doesn't mean that I don't have something to learn through each and every interaction and guidance. So, in all the different ceremonies, that was one of the things that was so profound about when I went to Peru. So I went a year ago in December. And so when I had gone there and I met this little medicine woman who was up in the indigenous community, and they didn't even really have cars. Okay. These people, they don't even really have shoes. Okay. They are there living, they are planting their potatoes. They walked up the mountainside 2 days to spend a day picking the potatoes to then carry them down for 2 more days to create the meal to share with us. I mean, when I talk about humbling and honoring, and the medicine woman is the person who actually made our meal for us, which was just so beautiful. But when she went to say goodbye to me, she looked me in the eyes. And when she did, I felt her lineage come into me. And I just started sobbing and crying. And I cried for hours. And I didn't understand what that was. But every single time, and I ended up having like 5 or 6 different ceremonies during that visit. And every time I felt that ancestry and felt that ancestry. So that, of course, prompted me to go ahead and to start training with the Inca School of Medicine, which is in Cusco, Peru. And this next September, when I go back, I'm going to spend 6 days and nights out at the Asangante Mountain as part of my pilgrimage and my Carpe ceremony to really connect with that earthen element of energies. But as I was doing the studies, and that's what it says, at the end, you're going to get the lineage downloaded into you. And it was like, well, been there, done that. But I went to school to figure out what was going on. what did I get? What did that mean? How will, and when I went back this trip, I had to bring this really nice brooch. It was my first healing brooch, really nice rose quartz and very powerful. And I'm like, well, I don't know why you want to come with me, but it wanted to come. And then when I got there, I had to gift it to the medicine woman.
Nice.
She needed to have that as I needed to have her guidance. So it's always about that share. And even when I was up on Machu Picchu and I'm like, don't rain, I was actually did ceremony and brought 5 different stones, including a Herkimer diamond from New York, to help set the ley lines and the energies. And those ley line energies go right up through Mount Shasta and work with the Lemurian energy, which I had no idea about until
Mount Shasta's in California. Am I correct? For anybody that's watching and may not be sure. Okay.
Yeah. And again, it's like all these places that call you, you go there, you have these massive, profound experiences. When I had gone to Mount Shasta, I didn't really know about the Lemurians, but I certainly do now because I work with an elder Lemurian named Jamar, and he really he helped me channel this book. And
what's the name of that book again? Show us, please.
It's Truth Beyond. So it's all channeled guidance and information. It was held as a weekly series for 9 weeks where I would drop into trance and we would just ask questions. And then different entities would come in to provide the information. Prior to going to Mount Shasta, I would trance channel God Source. Oh, we got to let people go. Goodbye. That's okay. I'm going to keep on going and then you can listen again later.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that was how I really got to learn about the Lemurians and that their existence was even there. And now this elder Lemurian Jamar, he helps to teach all of my classes because I do a multidimensional educational program where I come up with an outline of what I think it's going to be, kind of same as you. And then I show up and I let it go.
Do whatever manifests, right?
Well, what do you want it to do? Okay, you got a plan. All right, well, let it go ahead and do. And that's what happens. And so after I went out to Mount Shasta and met him, I had gone into the city of Telos and had all kinds of spiritual work happen while I was there. And that's when I started to trance channel anybody now. So that was a huge change in my capability because they actually changed out the chakra crystals. And since then I've had additional crystals added into my third eye, which allows for that other dimensional communication. So yeah, Telos is the community, and we'll chat with Jamar today. So
that'll be
Jamar,
amazing.
Yeah. Jamar's an elder Lemurian. He's about 25,000 years old. He really has not worked with other people. He chose to work with me because I had gone to Brazil and I'd already had some of my crystals changed out. So I became almost an experiment to them. Wow. I know. It's so cool. They're very excited to work with us. And I know that it can be scary when you're talking about trance work because it's like, well, I don't want to be inviting anything in that isn't supposed to be there. But it really is about your heart and your intention and that you have protection. So you have your, guardian angel and you have your spirit guide, but you also have a gatekeeper. And I believe that everybody has a gatekeeper, but some of them remain dormant until you move into a developmental space that you're going to utilize that. And my gatekeeper, his name is Baylot. And when I first started working with him, he was so quiet, never said anything. And then he turned into Bob Barker. It's like this great big flamboyant, boisterous energy, which throws people off because then they think, oh, well, spiritualism is very subdued and etheric, and it's not. Every single energy has a different flavor and a texture. Yeah, gatekeepers are super important. So you may not get a name for your gatekeeper, but they are very important because they are your guardian protector. So the way it works for me is when I first started channeling, I'm like, okay, I'm open, I'm ready. Go ahead and send them in. And all I could think about was my poor gatekeeper. He had like the tennis racket, and the machines that would shoot at you with all
Yes.
the balls. And this was poor Baylot. And he's huffing and puffing. He's like, good Lord, woman, because he had no way to keep track of me because I was out of control. But so the way it works now is that I actually go up into my sacred sanctuary space, and then I have a beautiful pathway I walk along, and there's a pond, and there's an arched bridge. And on the other side of the arched bridge is a gazebo. So anybody that wants to come and chat, they all line up in the gazebo, and then he lets them in one at a time. So because I don't want to channel more than once. It's way too confusing. And yes, he is a guardian being. He's a guardian being. I say he, but it doesn't matter what sex it is. So,
Right.
and that's the same as your higher self. Your higher self isn't a he or she either. It's just it's the higher aspect of you. So
I love that. I could listen to you for hours.
well, I chat right along.
Wow.
I've barely given you like 30 seconds to speak here.
Oh my God, I love it. Hello, Jessica. How are you? She says, hello, angels.
Oh, we got lots of angels. Can anybody in the audience see anybody around me, just as a curiosity, just as a visualization? Yeah,
Lovely Belle, who had to leave, I believe, but she was saying earlier, what did she say? That's not the one. That's the one. She said beautiful and peaceful colors surrounding you, Judi.
Okay. All right. Well, and when I get into trance, then you can go ahead and you really can see some difference. Oh, there's Jessica. She can. Good. Yeah. I was going to say, if you just allow your eyes to kind of, two people behind me. Okay. Yep. Well, I've lost my husband as well. So he works with me a lot. And so, but it's so funny. I don't say that in a ha-ha way, but it's like, my husband adored me and he absolutely supported me 1,000%, but he never would have let me give up my day job to do this full time. But losing him allowed me the opportunity to lose my day job so I could do it all the time. So yeah, it's that cycle. It's that we just don't know what we cannot know, but we just have to allow ourselves to be held in the faith of it. And to know that it is for our highest and best. And even when we're going through those really difficult times, and I mean really difficult times, you just have to know that there's a lesson that you're going to get through that process, and allow yourself to receive that. This is another, all right, so I always have to like blip in things when they yak at me. So
Please.
One of the things that when you're going through the midst of great crisis or grief, sometimes you just feel like you can't breathe, and you feel like you're completely you cannot breathe at all because everything is empty, everything is crushing.
Yeah.
And Spirit didn't tell me this when my husband died. He told me later when I was doing clients, the reason why you can't breathe is because so many loved ones and angels are embracing you and holding you.
What? I did not. I've never heard this before. Oh, I love this.
You feel that? Do you feel that when I say that? They are so embracing you that they're holding and squeezing that almost too tightly to be with you through that change. What an incredible mindset difference. Just that one moment of knowing they're all there holding. So sometimes we have to say, could you let go just a little bit?
Okay, you don't have again.
I don't want you to go anywhere, but just let me get some air. there.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh my God, you are so amazing. You had mentioned earlier that you might want to be drawn to take us through a spring equinox meditation, and you said
I
that
do, and I want to do a little bit of. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick trance channel, and so that you can meet the gatekeeper, meet Jamar, and then I'm going to pull back out and guide you into a wonderful spring meditation, because then we'll have lots of different beings come in. So
I love that. Question: do your guides take questions, or do they just speak and? You let us know now.
I can do whatever you want. They can ask questions if you want to. Let's go ahead and let's do about a 15-minute question answer before we do the meditation. So once I drop in, and the thing is, you can ask for specifics to come through too. I can't guarantee that they will, but you always can ask. Okay. So
yeah. And you're talking like anybody, like Archangel Metatron, like Jesus, whatever.
Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, guys, get ready, because I'm going to be taking your questions.
But I don't do people. I will not trans channel people. I choose not to.
I understand.
Okay. So, all right, let me first of all drop in. So just enjoy yourselves. Baylot here. Hello, everybody out there in the video world. I do love electronics. We love to pop them every once in a while too. So be careful if the screen burps out. You'll be okay. Anyway, I wanted to come in very specifically because a couple of your people talked about not really knowing about gatekeepers. So I want to take a few minutes just to kind of quickly tell you about a gatekeeper. So your gatekeeper is very important, I might say. Anyway, they are there specifically as a protector and a guard for you. Because when you go through the process of trance mediumship, the one before you, she steps aside. Some others may have a closer connection, but when you're just channeling, you stay in that energy of. Now, your gatekeeper works with each of these different types of channel formations or aspects of, because they are working around you to help provide that guidance of information that is being registered through you. Anyone who chooses to move into that essence and presence of trance work truly is of a giving nature, one who's able to let go of the ego and the personal interest well enough to allow for that clarity of guidance to be gifted through to the audience. The one before you or most all trance channels have very little recollection of what is transpired during their speaking or their interaction. They oftentimes have very little control of body functionality, and sometimes the energies that come in really struggle to be able to meet the frequency of the physicality. It can sometimes create pressure in the head or irritation in the throat, or perhaps if the actual energy is not used to or has not ever had a physical essence, they may come through almost as a light beam. They will speak various languages, and it does not matter what the words are, because the tone and the sound and that frequency is what is allowing for that transference of healing energy or guidance to be gifted to you through that process of. It is always an energetic exchange. It is always providing healing energy, whether you recognize it or not. Because you are within that presence, then you are receiving that vibrational attunement within the physical, the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional, and your entire etheric existence. Remember, each and every day, Each and every moment, you are going through that regeneration process. You are able to renew and to grow. And this is allowing for you to accelerate and to be in a higher place of for your own benefit of. So it is highly important for each of you to be able to recognize that when the energy is coming through, it is not just for you. It is being gifted through. If someone is not feeling well and or their body is going through a transition of, it's often called disease, then that is not in anyone's best interest to continue to do that type of work, because trace elements of your imbalances can also then attach and be transmitted through to the other person as well. This is just information for you to have. Individuals often find themselves, oh, so caught up in the moment of, and oh, so excited. And there's nothing wrong with excitement, but it is so imperative for each of you to be mindful of yourselves and to be protective of your energies, to ensure that you have that highest intention of love that is being shared, not just for personal gain. When you are trying to aspire and attract only for your personal self, sometimes what you receive is not necessarily what you had intended, but the lesson is the truth of what you really need in your life as well. So it's important for each of you to be in that whole space, in that loving essence, and to be able to build your relationships with each of your helpers, your gatekeeper, your guardian angel, your spirit guide. Remember, you've got many that will come in and out of your life at different times that are very specific to help you through an experience or a lesson or an interaction that comes to be. I know I've prattled on long, and I want to go ahead and let Jamar come in and speak, and then to allow you to ask questions, because I know I can feel those. And don't think that you just showed up here by happenstance. We have been working diligently to draw in the audience members to allow them to be part of this interaction, no matter when you are here and watching. So many blessings. Let me get Jamar.
Thank you, Bela. Thank you.
Jamar here. Good afternoon. I believe the one before you has already introduced me. I'm an elder Lemurian, and I work with many, but most especially the one before you, to assist in sharing strategies, in helping you to understand new facets of thought and energy and existence. For each of you to realize, to recognize, and to integrate the qualities of self, the capabilities that may be lying dormant within yourselves that are awaiting for you to initiate, to activate, and to come into that action-oriented place of, and to continue to share that guidance of. The Lemurians are a population of people, species, who live within a different realm of existence of where you find yourself physically. We can be of a physical format when we choose to lower our vibration so that you're able to see and to recognize that existence. We have communities such as you. We have many different teachers. We have jobs. I call them jobs, but it's a way of how we keep ourselves within our community existence, of participating and holding and supporting one another for the betterment of. We do not have violence. As for our community, truly always operates of a mindset that is more than just the singularity. It is for the whole of. This is something that is changing in the consciousness of the earth, of where you find yourself now. There is a reason why there is such a massive awakening and an integration of that higher energy, so that each of you have your individualized connection to be able to access and to elevate, to be able to work with that massive grid of light energy that is supporting each and every one of you and your existence in this lifetime as well. There is great transformation that is taking place, but it is essential for each of you to be able to see and to recognize clearly the dichotomy of what you call good and evil, light and darkness. There is not a judgment of one or the other, but it allows you the capability to see the difference of each. When one is feeding the soul, when one is feeding for the greater good, there is a different feeling to that. It is a heightened intensity and a reverberation that creates more energy. When one is taking and taking and taking of self, that creates a darker, denser essence, and it creates that essence of needing to hold tight to, not allowing growth through, because it's always in the fear base of losing and needing to hold on to. When truly, if you let go of, if you truly allow yourself to follow that light pattern that will guide you into that highest essence, there is no limit to what you can receive and who you are destined to be. No limit. So I do want to go ahead and allow you opportunities to speak. The one before you keeps her eyes closed. So if you would not mind, please articulating the question, and we shall see who will come in to answer.
Thank you so much, Jamar. Thank you very much. I don't believe I've ever spoken directly to a Lemurian before, so this is an honor. I mean, it's always an honor to speak with all the guides and spirits that come in, but this is very special because I personally feel very connected to Lemuria. I'm just going to ask.
Feel that now.
Yes.
Yes, of course, because this is your confirmation that you did have a lifetime in Lemuria.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask. But you knew that. So is there any duality in Lemuria? Like there is here, in our realm?
It is the similar nature, because as you're talking, sometimes you will see space in two places. Yes. You understand what I say when I say this?
I do.
We can be in multiple locations at the same time as well, within a different vibrational, energetic existence.
Mhm.
So the duality is not limited to two.
Oh, wow.
There is no time and space. All is within each and every moment of. You can change energies towards the future and or the past, but truly allowing yourself to be within this present moment of where we are exchanging right now allows for your completeness to be out in all ethereal space and time at the same time.
Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
amazing. Is it? It's my understanding that Lemuria was or is, because I understand all time is concurrent. That it's where Hawaii is now. Is that correct, or
There
is
are
that just?
many different locations.
Oh, okay.
There are many different locations around your earthen planet that are inside of Mount Shasta is one. There's also linked with Machu Picchu. There is in Antarctica. There is in Russia. There are many different colonies, I think is probably the best term for me to utilize. Travel is not the same as you physically need to take an airplane or a car, a mode of transportation to move
Mhm.
from one space to another.
Yes.
We're able to adjust our frequency to a different vibration of disintegration and of integration in a different location as we so desire.
Oh, I love that. I know that I know that truth. I know that truth within myself, and I've been trying to do that since I was a child. Because I
You've
know
been trying to
I love
remember how to do that as a child
yes, yes,
because
exactly.
you knew you had that capability to, and you're trying to figure, where did that go? How did I lose that? But the thing that you also need to recognize is you are doing a lot of travel during your sleep time status when you have no recollection whatsoever of a dream and
Mhm.
or of being asleep. It's because you are not there. You are your higher self, your psychic essence, your soul has moved into another collaboration within that collective consciousness where you are sharing your experiences, information, and or garnering other that you will bring into your own personal integration.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And thank you. And I'm going to listen to that again later. Um, thank you. Oh my God. We have a question from, I know, right? Heather's saying, oh, that's so interesting. I know. And Heather also has a question regarding the duality. She asks, does the duality in Lemuria not feel as polarized?
You have an emotionality that is recognizing the differences. Do you understand what I say when I say that? Is that yes or no? I'm going to continue, but I
Let's do
just want to understand that you have a different
yes, the answer
emotional
is yes.
affiliation with each of that duality. We
Mhm.
are of the same mindset and energy of, So even when there's different placement of, it's not that we don't have feeling, because we do have regard, respect, and honor for the emotions, but we don't live in the same volatility that you do. So it isn't so much of a personal affront and painful. There is an essence of sorrow and of hope and of faith and of inspired guidance to continue to support for your growth and betterment.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does to me. And thank you for that very much. And thank you, Heather, for that wonderful question. And we have a question from Barbara Kaufman McGillicuddy. She says, balance is an issue right now. I am open to these downloads. My issue is the human aspect of conveying such information. She says, I need guidance. I need assistance and guidance from maybe my gatekeeper.
Well, I actually have Archangel Raphael who wants to step in and to speak to this. And so Miss Barbara has worked very strongly with Archangel Raphael. And so I'm going to allow him to come in to speak. So one moment, please.
Thank you kindly.
Archangel Raphael here. Good afternoon to each of you. I wanted to have an opportunity to share my energy, and that is why I've chosen to speak with you, Miss Barbara. You are challenged, and you are not alone with finding balance clearly right now. There is a great deal of tenacious energy shifts that are stacking upon one another, that are creating more of an imbalance within each of your physicalities, not just the emotions and the mental, but within the physical and the spiritual. It is almost as if there is a vibrational veil of irritation that is not allowing for you to have that same clear connection that you are used to having. It is because you are moving through, and I say you in a singular, but it is not you as a singular, it is you as a whole of consciousness, are all moving through a different collaboration, calibration. You are adjusting and you are releasing the dense, fibrous, frequencies that have been creating binds and holding you back to the physicality. By allowing this influx of versatility and of severity, you are creating a higher essence of mixture that allows for the breakage of the binds. This will allow for an easier purging and a releasement for you to be able to step into and to be in that awareness and that receiving of, so that you can then implement that higher vibration that moves through that heart essence of you. Patience is not something that humans necessarily brag that they are good at. Patience is something that is always of great challenge because individuals in their humanness feel that that is a flaw, to be in a space of wait. It is also a space of creation. It is about you allowing that space for other things and energies and individuals and circumstances to align so that they can support you more easily in your life and where you are with that creation. Does that make sense?
It does. Very much. And Barbara's saying my telepathy is open. I hear, know, see everything at once. I'm shifting in overtime.
So allow yourself to be in that space of not having to make sense of, not having to act on, but to be the receptacle of receiving and allow for that mulling. A great example is a wine, correct? They take the grapes and they allow the time and space to ferment so that it blends and so that it can create that highest essence of drink form that you like. It is the same thing that is happening. You are each opening and receiving. So allow yourself to collect this larger essence of guidance and information so that it can create. And again, this is not following a new pattern of, an old pattern of, you are creating a new pathway for. You are the driver of the light of creation that is blazing forth through the center for others to follow behind. It takes more energy. It takes more time and presence and patience with self to allow for this full culmination to come into creation.
Wow.
Many blessings.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Oh my goodness. May I ask another question? Or do you have
You
to
may
go?
ask another question.
Okay. Thank you very much. And it's wonderful to talk to you, Archangel Raphael. I've been very drawn to your energy lately and also that of Archangel Michael. I'm just going to ask because I can. Can you please be so kind, if you want to, as to tell me why and what, is there something going on in my energy that I should be more aware of, or that you can give me some insight on?
You are going through a massive transformation and you're feeling the cocoon birthing.
Yes.
would be a good symbology to utilize. Archangel Michael has been working diligently to slice through the old and to let go, for you to allow yourself to let go. Truly allow yourself to not hold on to the tendrils, but to really slice away the connections for that creation to come into play. Where you find yourself working with me so much more is that your podcasts, your work, your energy is of a higher caliber of healing for the individual interactions and or for that creation of patterning as well. Therefore, it is so important for you to feel and to know the wholeness of you and that energy that is surging through you, that is emulating and sending that beautiful healing love all around you. You are finding things moving into patterning more quickly because of that healing energy that's emulating out into the environment around you as well.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. That totally resonates. And just to let you know, also, Barbara had said from before, yes, I am, and yes, I understand. Thank you, beloved. I wanted to, if I may, ask you about the energy that we are in now, with all the planetary transitions, and I believe it's Pluto in Aquarius now. I'm not an expert on astrology. I'm knowledgeable, but I know we're in this new time. Time is, anyway, I mean, I'm using the term loosely, this new space, this new time, and this new energy. And if you want to talk about it, I would be very grateful.
I'm going to go ahead and switch one moment, please.
Of course,
Okay.
thank you kindly.
So I would like to say thank you for this time. And I have Kuan Yin getting ready to come in. So one moment, please. Kuan Yin here. Good afternoon, young one.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the audience of. You are asking questions of time and space, but truly it's just about the alignments of. You understand that everything has patterns in life, not just life, but death and creation and the continuation. There is a natural pattern of order that comes into play that is followed, such as that essence of your earth presence that rotates on its axis, that changes from day to night, passing weeks and months and years as well. The patterns of the existence of the planets, and when they come into specific alignments, change that frequency, sound, vibration that attracts and that is received by the earth energy itself. The various intensities and or volume, I shall say, and how it resonates within the various locations. There are amplifiers that are in existence around the earth itself. An example of an amplifier would be what you call the pyramids.
Oh.
Within these various pyramids, it is almost as if what you would call a computer brain. And the various alignments change that tone and sound and activation that resonates not just into the center of the earth, but also out into the ethers around the earth. Remember, energy is never created or decimated. It only transitions and transforms into a new format of creation. Therefore, it is highly imperative to move through these various rotations so that you allow for that cleansing and that birthing to come into manifestation. For each of you to be along with, in partnership with, in unity of. Because your energy is of. Each of you as human beings are your own point of light and energy. And you work collaboratively with and are affected by all of these other energies as well. This is why sometimes, certainly, the energy people of a higher sensitivity have a very difficult time sleeping during full moons and or high energy shifts. It is important for you to be patient with yourself and to be mindful of the various changes. It is essential to move through these cataclysmic shifts so that you can see, feel, resonate, and create the new patterns that must come into fruition. To allow for the separation and to allow for your personal integration of understanding of what you have access to and how you are working within that unity of. The earth in its existence is moving into a much more feminine palette that is of a loving base, that is known as a softer essence. However, do not ever question the strength and the tenacity of the femininity. It is spoken of, don't ever get a mother bear mad. There is such an embrace of passion and drive for that purity and for the betterment of. It is not negating the male qualities. It is of supporting them in a new manner of insight to reflect on and to grow through. It is about time and space is now. You have each chosen to be here as the change agents. You are feeling and receiving this guidance and this transference of information as you have been called to be part of too. Do not be of fret and stress and fear, but to allow your heart to embrace the wholeness of the community and of your teams that are all there with you and guiding and supporting. It is not about not engaging. It is about choosing to be in partnership with that movement. You will always be moving. Are you kicking and screaming, or are you jumping off with joy? That, my child, is up to each of you. Many blessings to each of you.
And to you as well. Thank you so much.
Baylat here. I'm just going to go ahead and pull back. I think our time is probably up, right? Yes,
Thank
probably.
you, Bayla. You're amazing.
That's okay.
Can we ask one more question before you go?
Okay, go ahead and ask.
Thank you very much. Heather has a question that I'm also very aligned with. She's asking, during these energetic transitions, Mother Earth Gaia helps with transmuting a lot. When we request her help in transmuting, is there an effective way to send her healing at the same time? Or is it just our intent that matters?
Your intent is what matters. The thing that you don't realize is that when you are sending that transmutation of energy, it's coming through and working with the energy of you, and your love energy is healing. So it's already blessing it. People oftentimes get all caught up in the part of, oh, I got to get rid of that old doom and gloom. I don't need it anymore. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to pollute Mother Earth. You're not ever polluting her because it was blessed within you. And now you're allowing for that to be healing for as well. So whenever you want to transmute energy, and it's important for you to think about that. The one before you often will do this with her hand. She does that swirly thing so that it's really drawing it down and allowing for that churning and that changing of energy. That's always a good practice, because sometimes energy people, they'll work with somebody and they go zap and you're all done. Well, they might have like fried off all of those free radicals, but where did they go? They're just finding somebody else to glob onto and to annoy. So it's important that when you're doing the work that you do some practice techniques that are respectful. If you have that as your intention and your thought, then it can't help but be that. Does that make sense?
It does indeed. And thank you very, very much. And thank you for staying a bit longer. And we appreciate and love you all.
All right. Many blessings. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Avila, thank you.
Ooh.
That was amazing.
I mean,
take your time. Oops.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you had a lot of visitors.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And I encourage people to go back into, oh, thank you, Heather. I encourage people to go back and to listen to it again, because every time that you listen to it, you will get more information and guidance. And it's a deeper level of understanding. That's the thing that's so cool about it. It's like, well, I understood A, B, and C. And then I go back and it's like, well, it's a whole nother language, because you're in a different place to be able to hear it. And you have now been attuned to a different vibration to receive it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like on an energy high right now. Like,
I know. Well, and that's the thing. This is a lot of really strong healing energy work has come through with that exchange. So it's very important that everybody drinks lots of water. The healing energies will continue for a minimum of 72 hours. You know, you may have different colored things coming from different orifices of your body. You bless them and let them go. Okay. You know, allow yourself to really go through that transformation of energy that really came into through this interaction. It really is super cool that I am so grateful that they choose to work with me.
Amazing. I find it amazing. Heather says I will definitely re-listen. I was just going to say that I benefit from listening more than once to deep information I'm taking in. I do too, Heather. Yeah. Wow. I'm so honored to do what I do. I'm so glad that I'm grateful that I'm called to do this and that I get to do what I love to do and, speak with amazing people like you and spirit guides and archangels and ascended masters. And how amazing is that?
It is absolutely phenomenal. And I am so grateful that I am able to live my dream. I am living an amazing life that I cannot know what the tomorrow will be, but I'm sure going to be ready for it.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, I'll be going back to Peru coming up in September. And so I really hope that people may want to join me on that journey. If you're looking to really grow your spiritual development, I'm not talking about you're going on a vacation. I'm talking about when you're ready to get into the deep and to grow you. Those are the people that I really work with. And I do a lot of mentoring with folks. I mean, I'm able to help, really help you to be able to grow you. When I do trance channel work with people, I mean, I do work with other people who are learning to trance channel. I'm able to like go where they're going so that I can help show you where
That's amazing. I would love to go to Peru. That would be
well, mark your calendar, girl.
So what's the date? And if people are interested to go on this amazing trip to Peru with you and
it's September 17th through the 23rd. Okay, so that is their dry
23.
season. So you have 23. Yep. And it's $39.97, and then you go ahead and you have to buy your airplane ticket. Okay. But you're going to be staying at an all-inclusive resort. And so transportation to and from the airport is covered. Your meals when we're at the resort are covered. It is an incredible resort that sits right on the top of like halfway up the mountainside of this mesa, and you look out on the valleys and you feel and you hear. And and we do different types of ceremonies as well. And we go to the Machu Picchu for one of the day. We go to the indigenous communities. You are learning about life. You are participating with life. We do drum making. We do a plant medicine ceremony if anybody is interested as well. I do all kinds of trance channel work with individuals to help clear and get them ready, and then to clean them up afterwards and to close everybody. And you really get a chance to have a new community of people, of your soul tribe individuals that are there and you are making the difference with. I work with a lot of energy beings, people who are earthen elements. So they really are part of that earth anchoring and making those changes. And you go back to these different land places and you collect the things that you left in other lifetimes and you feel that energy.
Wow. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. We got lots and lots of good things. So, but I was telling you right before, it's like the day we were going to Machu Picchu. So we leave early in the morning, 3:45 in the morning, because it's quite a ways away. And right, we're getting ready to get on the van. I look up and their spaceship goes right behind the mountain that was there. And I was like, oh, did y'all see that?
Oh my gosh.
We
So
see
a spaceship going behind the mountain while you were in Machu Picchu.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like, and everybody, they weren't there. People didn't go. The tourists really didn't go. There was a lot of stuff that was going on in Peru. And so several people had, four of my people canceled until the September timeline, which is why I'm going back again this year, because apparently there's more people that need to go. But it was just so wonderful to be there without hardly any tourists. It was fabulous. Wow. It was fabulous. It was so profound because you could really just hear the land. You could just feel that connection. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful experience. So anyway, all right, I've chattered on quite a bit. I need to get you into this meditation or we're never going to get done.
Oh, that's all right. Honestly, I'm loving all of this. I'm just so excited. The whole Machu Picchu and Peru thing. So again, guys, how can they contact you if they
they can go to my website, heart4souls.com. And so, yeah, HEART 4souls.com and or spiritualservices.online. And so, yeah, or send me an email. Yeah, why don't you put my thing in there or the chat box? Maybe I'll just do that. Yeah. You can just
that. I put your links up. Where did everybody go? Trixie, you got to move your tush, girl. Sorry, my cat is, well, you know, she's being awesome. That's
okay.
what she.
I just got my, I didn't do it right. I did a private chat. I don't even know how to do it right. Anyway, I put my email in there. So it's Judi Weaver.
Over to the public chat.
That's okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there we go.
No, that's great. So anybody can email you directly at rev.judy.weaver@gmail.com, or they can find you on Facebook at Heart for Souls on Facebook. And I will also drop your email, your email, but your website, which which is Spiritual Services Online. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm putting them in the information. All right. Awesome. And where can they buy? And I know we're going to do the meditation, but I don't want to forget to ask you, where can they buy your awesome books? Can you show it to everybody again, please?
Yes. So you can go to Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. Amazon is kind of weird because sometimes people buy your books and then resell them or say that they're not able to buy. And so Barnes and Noble is better. Sometimes it's so weird. I'm like, what do you mean I can't buy it on Amazon? There aren't any more left in print. And it's like, what are you talking about? So anyway, Barnes and Noble is a good place, or Balboa Press. You can get Truth Beyond. This one is not at Balboa Press. But Guided by Your Light, that is a workbook. It's a 12-chapter workbook on how to grow your spirituality. Truth Beyond is all channel guidance and information. And I did go ahead and do videos of Guided by Your Light because it's all, it's got different meditations in it. And Truth Beyond, if you wanted to get the video recordings of the actual trance channel messages, then you can get that too. And those are both available on my website. And I am in the process of doing a new website, so be patient with me. I'm making some transitions here. And I'm grateful for my website man who's helping me. So yeah. I love techie people to be around me because I have struggles with electronics. I will tell you that.
I'm a geek, although I'm not. Web design isn't my strength. Graphic design is, and other things.
I've seen your graphic stuff. So yes. You have to I got to get you to make me a something.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to.
Fabulous. Well, I would like to go ahead and just take everybody on just a short meditation. And this will just, and again, we're just coming into our springtime. We've got all these different planetary alignments. And this is just an opportunity for each of you to just slow yourself and to connect into that earthen energy. So just close your eyes and relax and inhale and exhale. And just allow your body to get nice and soft and to just be in this space. Inhale and exhale. Bring your attention to the top of your head. Envision a beautiful lotus blossom on top. Warm golden sunshine showering down on top of your head. Allow that beautiful lotus blossom to open widely to receive that golden energy. It's tingling and vibrating and so filled with love. Showering down into the top of your head, slowly spiraling through both hemispheres of your brain, combining the information and inspiration, calculation and creativity, education and enlightenment. Allow that beautiful healing energy to move through your third eye, cleansing and purifying, releasing the clouds and opening itself to pure insight of self. That beautiful healing energy is moving down to your throat chakra, clearing and allowing for perfect essence and presence of communication, speaking your truth, hearing your truth, integrating soul truth of self and to self. That beautiful healing energy is moving down to your heart chakra, expanding and expanding and expanding with such love, such wholeness, such belonging, such peace. That beautiful healing energy is moving down to your solar plexus, cleansing and purifying for perfect functionality within every system. Your endocrine system, your nervous system, into and through your circulatory system. Perfect health within all of your organs, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, your pancreas. Balance to your mental body. Clarity to your emotional body. Understanding to the soul body and strength to the physical body. That beautiful healing energy is moving down to the sacral chakra, where deep emotions are stuffed and buried. Feel that love, that pure love, expanding and expanding and expanding and releasing the dense emotions that no longer serve you. That beautiful healing energy is moving down to your root chakra, the basal instincts of fight or flight. Feel that mighty foundation of faith rise up through like a golden channel of light. Higher and higher and higher and lighter and lighter and lighter and higher and higher and higher and lighter and lighter and lighter. Higher and higher and higher and lighter and lighter and lighter. You find yourself walking upon a beautiful path. The sky is blue, the air is crisp. You can smell the freshness of green, the moisture in the air after a fresh spring rain. You look around and you can see small flowers popping through, crocus and daffodils and tulips. There's a slight breeze, and you watch as they gently sway. As you continue along your pathway, you begin to see some trees ahead. You can hear that whispering of the wind as it slowly moves through the branches. You get closer and closer and closer, and as you walk through the forest, you notice one specific tree that's ahead of you. It's so large and prominent, with a huge canopy that the other trees backed away from. You get closer and closer. You can see a large root protruding, and it arches out and makes almost a perfect space to sit upon. You get closer and closer and closer, and you can feel the dappling of the sun as it shines upon you. Come, my child, come into the tree of knowledge. You move forward until you see that knot, that you look within and you feel yourself absorbing into the center. That is right, child. Come into the tree of wisdom. Look around for you to see all that is written, all that is known is within this sacred tree. You seek answers to the soul of thyself. You seek clarity and guidance and strength and understanding. The world is filled with patterns, synchronicities, and guidance. The teachers and the students are all around. The words, the fragrance of knowledge is available to each of you as you so choose to look and to listen. You stand within this essence as presence. Feel the seepage from your feet as it draws deep into the presence of Mother Gaia. Feel your arms elevate and expand into the ethers of the air and transformation. Each of you are part of, are one with the elementals of creation. You allow for that energy to transfer and to become. Each of you are expanding your consciousness into the realms of as well. Look around once again. The lines, the rows and rows and rows of ledgers of guidance and information. Choose one now that calls to you. You reach around and you find that one bind that calls, and you open it before you and you watch the filigree as that clear message is being written for you. You are destined to. You are on the journey of. You are a sacred, blessed one. The book closes and dissipates as you feel it integrate into the essence and presence of your heart. You find yourself now standing outside of the tree, feeling that majestic breeze and that mighty power and presence and that pure heart essence of love. You turn around and you start along your pathway once again. You look down as you see a bright, shiny, glittering item. You bend over and you pick it up. You know this is a sacred gift from the energies, from the masters and the teachers, from the benevolent beings for your highest and purest presence of. You take that gift and you give gratitude to the world around you and continue along your pathway. That freshness of smell, you can hear the birds twerp in the sky, the scurrying of squirrels, and there ahead is a majestic deer looking at you, not running from you, because it recognizes the soul essence and purity of your heart that is there for the betterment of mankind. You continue along that pathway until you find yourself in a field of flowers, surrounded by the flowers and the fragrance of all that bright sunshine is blessing your skin. You look around and you can feel that love energy. Each and every blossom is the presence of a soul that is celebrating you and your existence, cheering you on and waving for you to go forth and to become, to encourage you, to celebrate you, to shower you with love energies. You continue along through the pathway until you find yourself at the top of a beautiful slide. You sit down on that slide and you go lower and lower and lower, twirling your way down, 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 twirling your way with joy and abundance and love until you find yourself settling back into your body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Your heart is overflowing with that love energy. That wisdom and knowledge is placed within your heart. And you have that sacred gift from all of the love beings that are supporting you going forth. Bring your attention back to the top of your head. Inhale and exhale, closing your crown chakra, sealing in that beautiful healing energy. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring yourself back. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and you can open your eyes when you feel ready. Welcome back, my friends. Just a little love from the earth and the world and everybody to give you some little special messages for yourself. So
that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow, that was powerful. I'm looking forward to doing that again when I'm not live streaming. But I was gone. I was gone for most of that, but I always had to,
Good. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Good. Well, I want to tell some people about some things that I've got coming up. Okay.
Yes.
So
I'll give you the screen. I'll be right back and tell
it. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So things that I've got coming up. First of all, I do offer a number of different workshops and events. So like I travel with Spirit Fest around the state of Florida. So I will be in Sarasota next weekend at the end of April. So that's April 1st and 2nd. And I will be hosting a presentation, which is a live channeling demonstration. What's your question? I will be in Daytona Beach. I'm so excited. They're actually going to be in Daytona Beach coming up the end of April. And that'll be the 29th and 30th. And I'll be doing a presentation with Metatron, and I offer mini readings. And I'm also available for regular readings, private work. I work virtually and or in person. So depending on where I'm at, if I'm traveling to different locations, I will go and host private sessions in the different hotels and things along the way too. Next Thursday, I'm going to be hosting a new trance channel circle, spirit circle. So I'm looking forward to that. So you can find out more information about that when you go on my website. And then in the 25th of April, I'm going to be hosting a 6-week series, which I'm really excited about. This is a starseed ancestry. So they are being there, the they out there in the world, different star beings are being adamant that they want to come in and they want to trance channel some guidance about their different star systems, how we are star seeds, how we're connected to them, different ways their work is impacting the earth, and to help build our communities. So I'm super excited about that. So it'll be Atlantis and Lemurians and Andromeda and Orion and Arcturians and Pleiadians. So the whole pile of and I don't know how it's really going to go. So, that's the kind of the way it is. I'm setting it up, and it was so funny. Like the first time that Jesus says, okay, well, you're going to host a workshop that's going to be Jesus and Mother Mary's going to channel. I'm like, you want me to advertise that? I'm like, are y'all sure you're really going to show up?
Is this online or is this live or is it?
That's going to be
it's both.
online and live. So that's going to be both. So yeah, that's going to be for anybody anywhere. So yeah, that's going to be super cool. I will say though, when it is electronic, sometimes it will fade in and out, and I can't help that. That's just the level of energy that I work with. So sometimes it struggles with the system. So yeah, that's where that is. But yeah, I've got a lot of cool things. I will be this summer. I will be in Lilydale in July, hosting 3 different workshops, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Then I'm going to go up to Arlington, Vermont, and do a 5-day festival at the Om Festival. Like I said, September, I will be going back to Peru, and I'm actually going to go back in the end of February, beginning of March next year as well. So if September is too soon for you, then really let me know, because I'm taking very small groups. I'm taking 11 people max. I don't want to deal with a lot of people. This is deep work. This is you really getting into that you part of you. So it's important to be able to work independently with the people so that I can help support you through that transition that you are going through. So, yeah, I'm just super excited about where things are in life, and I feel good. And thank you. And I travel places where, people will invite me. I'm super excited that hopefully some people over in the UK will see me. I know that Scotland and Ireland are going to be in my world somewhere along the way. So, yep, if it comes to be, let me know and I'll show up.
So. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Miles Gary or Jerry says, first time here all the way from, I don't know how to pronounce the name of your beautiful town, but in North Wales, UK.
Fabulous.
That one, right? Hello, welcome. Heather says, thank you for today. And I am excited, and I loved your idea about the channel panel, and I'm going to be working on creating that event, and I would love for you to participate if you are.
Absolutely. Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool, guys, to have like some of my previous amazing channeling guests come in all channel together in one event?
Yes, absolutely. Come up with a couple of topics. You invite all of us to be there, and then we can all call in. Because sometimes the channels really work with their guides, and they're going to work with whoever they work with. So you're going to get different depths of information, but there will always be something that'll be different. So it'll be super cool because you will get, a really intense. That was like when I did my Truth Beyond book. So we would ask, well, how can I grow my spirituality? Well, then like Archangel Raphael talked about the physical things that you could do in your healing. And then somebody else came in and talked about the emotional things. So it was like you get different perspectives of different level of depth from all the beings at the same time. So super cool.
That's so cool. I love it. I'm excited about that. And well, thank you again. And thank you all for being here, every one of you.
Thank you.
Because of you, we get to do what we love to do. And we're all doing this together. We're all co-creating this amazing experience. And so thank you. And thank you again, Judi. It's absolutely a pleasure connecting with you and your beautiful energy and all of your guides and the Ascended Masters and everybody that was here. I could feel all the energy. Oh my God, it was amazing. Beautiful.
I know. And we probably should do a closing prayer just to go ahead and bring us back. Okay.
Yes.
Just so that we don't leave everybody all wiggy all over the place. Heavenly Father, Great Spirit, thank you so much for the blessings of this day. Thank you so much for each of the souls who have gathered here together. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for your presence and for your healing grace. Allow each of us to go forth and to shine that brilliant light within the essence and presence of us, creating a pathway for the world to follow behind. We ask this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Don't you just feel that? Now it's like, okay, now we can go back to the real world.
Amazing.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Judi. And thank you all. I love you guys. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
Bye-bye.